Okay, this is a video on happy birthday. I'd like everyone to get in the mood. Remember, happy birthday means to be happy, so let's all be happy. Being happy is a state of mind. I reckon we can get there. Okay, very first thing we're going to do, let's just do some plucking of the string. So the third string is the actual is the note we start on. So let's play that note, and I want you to use your fingers to play it because fingers sound more melodic than using thumbs. If you have a habit of using your thumb, just rest it up here on the sixth string. That'll give it something to do. So then you can concentrate on your fingers. And let's do some walking. Like this, just back and forth. I am. I like the sound of the fingers. I hope you do too. Do that for a little bit. Okay, now next bit we're going to do is we're going to play through the G Mixolydian mode, which is actually the C major scale. But let's just consider it G because it's easier for you guys to think about for now. So we're going to start on G, and we're going to play all the natural notes of the guitar up to the top G here. So not that A, but the G just before it. So let's run through these notes. The G is on the third string, hence the 3 in a circle. So let's play open G. The next note, called A, goes up into this space, and that's on the second fret of that same third string. So these two are bracketed together on the same string. So I'm going to play A now with my second finger on the second fret of that third string. Let's go back and forth. G, A, sing it like I'm doing it. G, A, happy, 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 joy, joy. Well, it is coming close to Christmas. Alright, now the next group of notes in our scale are on the second string, and they begin with the note B, and we're going to go up to C, then up to D. Now B is an open string, so I'm going to play that note open. Try that out. Second string, remember, pluck with your finger. Give your thumb something to do by resting it on the sixth string. And now the note C is on the first fret, so I'm going to hold that down, that same string, number 2, on the first fret. And now I'm going to go to the D note, and D is the third fret. Now don't move your first finger up, and don't use your second because that's a stretch. Use your third finger because the fingers are actually pretty well placed to just go one step at a time up the frets. So because it's a third fret, let's use our third ring finger. That's the one you get married with, okay? Unless you're a left-handed guitarist, it's the other way around. So let's run through those notes again. We're going to go open B on the second string, C on the first fret, and then D on the third fret. Awesome, if you've got that, let's move on. Otherwise, you can just pause the video and practice a little bit. Okay, let's practice the portion of the scale that we know already, going from the G open up to this D. So G open, second fret, second finger on the A, open B, second string, C first fret on the second string, D third fret of that same second string. You might want to try and practice it and just see how well you can play it. Doesn't have to be fast. Then try and go backwards. You might want to try and do it fast, in a very fluent movement like that. Try that out. I love doing that. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to play through the scale. The last 3 notes, they're all on the first string of the guitar. This is our first note we learnt, the open E. And then we have F on the first fret. That's the note we see in the Spanish theme in the Hal Leonard book. So use your first finger for that. Now don't slide or twist any fingers up. Use your third finger on this G. That's the third fret G. Try that again. Open E, first fret, first finger, F, and then G, third fret. Cool. Now let's go backwards a little bit in the scale. We're not going to go to G. We're going to start on the second string B. And we're going to go open B, first fret C, third fret D, open E, F first fret, and G third fret. And see if you can do the same thing we did before. See if you can play it nice and smooth. See if you can do it without any gaps between the notes. So we call this legato. Ooh, that sounds pretty, doesn't it? Let's see if you can do it backwards. Oh, I love that sound. Let's see if we can do it quickly. Awesome. Okay, now let's go and do the whole scale now from the open third string G to the A on the second fret, open B, C on the first fret, D on the third, open E, F, and then G on the third fret. Practice that a little bit, maybe pause this video I'm going to play it now smoothly. Here we go. Let's do that again. Awesome. Now let's play it backwards. Let's do it backwards again. Let's go up and back nice and smoothly. And when you get to the top, I'm going to play the G twice. That's just because I like doing that. So I'll be like this. Like that, 2 Gs. Won't go that fast. Here we go. It's a nice sound. Alright, so now I think we're ready to tackle the melody because we've gotten used to these notes. Now if you're forgetting where the notes are, it's really helpful to try and meditate on them. And what you do to meditate on these notes is you just pick out notes that you have in the scale. So like maybe you look at the A, you go, okay, well, where's that A? And you figure it out. You hold down the note, and then I want you to say to yourself internally, A. This is the note A. 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 Now I'm going to play a note next to it that's a reference point. It's on the same string as the G, so I'm going to play the open G. And I say in my head, open G. G, A. And I might just go back and forth a few times, just practicing something that I already know in a sense. And when you practice that, it helps reinforce the memory that eventually you just know that's A and that's G. And you can do that for all these notes. So take your time if you're struggling to memorize where the notes are. Okay, now we begin the melody. We're probably 5 minutes in. But I hope you enjoyed that warm-up. Okay, the melody starts on the open G string. And then we have a quick note inside the same beat. So it's actually beat 3 of a bar that's sort of missing. We call this an anacrusis. So I count in like this. I go 1, 2, G, da, da, da. So I started on the 3rd beat of the bar, and then I count 1 on the next note, the 3rd note, sorry. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 1, like that. Let's run through the notes. So it's G, and then another G that's quicker, and then an A, and then the open G again. Try that. G, G, A, G. Maybe pause the video and practice that. Now the next note after that last G there is going to be the C on the 1st fret of the 2nd string. C, B. Let's practice that. C, B. To you. Let's go back to happy birthday. 1, 2. Happy birthday to you. You might want to pause this bit of the video and play back over it, that little phrase. Now, if you're struggling to understand how the happy, the P part of happy, happens, because this is a symbol you're not used to, this is actually stuff for the next level, theoretically. The best way to think of it if you're a level 1 still, or if you've just completed level 1, is that this is a quick note before the next beat, and they feel like they belong together. So it's like this. 3 and 1, 2. So it actually feels like it belongs to the 1. This is a great lesson my guitar teacher taught me, which is that little notes like that have upbeats or skips to them because they are smaller than half the beat in value at the end of a beat, they feel like they actually belong to the next note. So if you think about it that way, then you can just insert it before the note you know. So the birthday note is A. Birthday. So if I think of it belonging to the birth, it actually will come out a bit better, I think. Happy birth. So the P birth, the P belongs to the birth. 1, 2. Happy birthday to you. 2. Okay, now the next phrase is actually the same as the first phrase, but instead of playing C, B at the top, we play D, C. So it's actually on the same string. It's just, I've shifted this phrase up a little higher. And this is kind of sequential, we call this. So it goes like this. 1, 2, happy birthday to you. Try that. Maybe pause the video and play back over that little bit. Now when you've done that, put the two together. So it should be 1, 2. Happy birthday to you. 2. Happy birthday to you. 2. Okay? You might want to practice that for a little bit. Pause the video for a long time. Practice it, get used to it, get really familiar, and then get to know it. Now the next part, we have the last beat of the first line. Happy, the same material that we played already, the G with the quick note, and that G belongs to another G now, it's changing. So the next line, we have a top G on the E minor chord, and this G is up here on our first string. Happy birthday, bit high for my voice, isn't it? Happy birthday. That's G and then open E, like rain, rain, go away. Happy birthday. Try that for a little bit. Happy birthday. Now the next phrase is D, da, sorry, C, C, B, A, sorry. This changes all the time depending on how many syllables are in the person's name. There's actually 3 variations on how to sing this part of the song. I went with it, I think, is the more traditional way of doing it. So I might say you're going to play this for your mum on her birthday. So let's say, dear your mum. Okay, that's how we'll sing that. You might want to insert your mum's name there. So I'll go back to the beat before this first line. That's the happy birthday, okay? And let's see if you can play along with me. Actually, I didn't show you the CBA bit. Let's go with that. So where it has the F chord in the end of bar number 6, we have C, 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 B. It has that same skip to it where the C is a shorter note, the second one, and it belongs to the B that comes after. C, C, B. So C and B are on the same string. C, C, B. Then A on the second fret of the third string. C, C, B, A. Cool. Let's try this. So back to the start of that phrase. 1, 2. Happy birthday, dear mama. Let's try that again. 1, 2. Happy birthday, dear mama. Okay, I hope that works out pretty well for you. Now, the start of the next bar is bar number 8, and we have a rest symbol with 2 beats, but it has a special symbol on top. Looks like an eye, like an Egyptian hieroglyphic. And what that means is we hold the rest for as long as we like, because normally when the audience is singing happy birthday, happy birthday, dear mama, everyone takes a breath and looks happy. And then they all go, happy birthday to you. So, we're going to have a little fermata rest there. Now, just for practice sake, I'll just make it 2 beats, okay? So, let's do that fermata rest. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Rest, 2. Now the next note will come in. That's what it is. But remember, that fermata rest means you hold the value of that note or that rest longer than what's needed. So it's normally worth 2 beats. I might hold it for 3.5, 3, 4, whatever it is. It just has to be longer than the note value itself. So it's not a pause. Okay, now the next phrase, which is the final one, begins on a note we haven't played yet, except in our scale, and that is the F on the first string, first fret. So looking where the chord is written says G7. So it's just G7 by itself, there's no slash symbol or anything. And that's the bar number 8, and this is just after our fermata, which is the I rest. So F, and we have that same skip of a note, which feels like it belongs to the next note. That's nice and easy. That's F, F, E. Try that. F, F, E. Cool. And again. F, F, E. C, D, C. So there's the final phrase. Try that out. E, C, D, C. I'll do that slower. E, C, D, C. And they're all crotchet beats in time. And the final note comes in after the crotchet beat, but it lasts for 2 beats. let's play that phrase. I'll count 1, 2 as the fermata rest. 1, 2. F, F, E, C, D, C, 2, finish. So the final bar is actually only worth 2 beats. And this is very common in what's called an anacrusis. The anacrusis, if you remember, is that bar at the top of the music, da capo, which has only 1 beat at the start. Okay? So, let's just play through the whole song as a performance. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear mama. Rest, rest. Happy birthday to you. Now don't forget to play the last note a bit louder than the others. I haven't written an accent there, but the lyric has an exclamation mark, to you. It'll make your mum feel really happy. Now I'll do that again. Maybe a little faster, and I'll sing lower. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to your mama. Rest, rest. Happy birthday to you. Now, if you're a student who already knows how to play a full C chord, you might want to play the full chord at the end there. And so instead of playing the last C note, play the full chord. Happy birthday to you. That's really pretty if you can do that. Another way of doing it is you just hold that C and you play string 3, 2, 1 like this. So I'm still holding the C note, just like the melody is. Happy birthday to you. You might want to do a bit of a as well. Let's try that. So at the end I'll go, or 1, 2. Happy birthday to you. Give that a shot. Alright, I hope you enjoy Happy Birthday. It's actually a really nice melody, and it'd be great if you could learn it, because then you could entertain your family with it, and it make your parents feel really happy if you sing them and play them Happy Birthday at the same time. Something else to look out for is this Happy Birthday tool sheet. I'll put a link to this stuff in the description of the video, so you can access the PDF version of the music and this here. These are actually how to play the chords. There's 2 versions of G. This is the more common G, but I prefer to learn and to teach this one because it's more flexible as a chord. So the G chord says to play 3rd finger on the 6th string, so that's this one, and then the 2nd finger on the 5th string. So I'm using my finger numbers here. And then I've got open, 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 and then I've got the 4th finger on the 1st string at the 3rd fret. So those two are actually on the same fret, like this. It's a good idea if you're practicing these to actually just play through the chord. Make sure every note's ringing out. If you get this buzzing, or even worse, the sound, it means you've got to move your fingers around to make a clear note and figure out how to play it. Cool, so I hope you enjoy that. It certainly has been fun teaching it to students over the last week, and it's a great melody. Have a good holiday, everybody, and if you have any questions, or if your parents have any questions, please just email me. I will check my emails occasionally. I may not be able to answer all of them, so I don't know if I'll have my computer with me, but I will be at least available to give advice. Okay, have a good holiday. Bye.